It seems like the Silver Arrows are finally back in the game now. The huge B-Spec upgrade brought by Mercedes to Monaco has seemingly worked its magic, which allowed both Brits to secure a double podium finish for the Brackley-based squad. Mercedes finally has understood how its package works, one that will definitely help the team towards achieving their grand goal for this season. So, could this be the time in this season where Mercedes will start to crawl back Red Bull's advantage while penalties slow down the Austrian team? Ever since the start of the 2023 season, the new concept for the Mercedes W14 has been a massive talking point. Mercedes were quick to realize during the pre-season testing that its narrow sidepod aerodynamic concept will not have the development ceiling to challenge Red Bull for race wins. But since implementing the new concept from Monaco, the team has been seeing an upward trend. The Silver Arrows had a double podium finish at Barcelona, giving a 33 points haul for the team to jump ahead of Aston Martin in the constructors' standings. The best part of this scenario is that this was the first realistic race where Mercedes has run its upgraded car. So to achieve the status of best of the rest, beating both Ferrari and Aston Martin in terms of pure pace shows how much of an improvement the team has made with those upgrades. Furthermore, this is definitely not the only upgrade Mercedes has in the works, as George Russell and Lewis Hamilton pointed out in Spain. The returning technical director of Mercedes, James Allison, pointed out that the engineers back at Brackley are taking a closer look at Red Bull's floor pictures from Monaco, trying to understand the Austrian concept to add some performance to the W14 by taking some clear inspiration from its rivals. Whether can they really pick anything up from Red Bull to spice up the 2023 championship? Well, time will tell. But Max Verstappen has talked about the team bringing a new floor for the RB19, which could make the Monaco specification a bit more outdated. Everyone thought that Mercedes had written off the 2023 season after the devastating pre-season test and opening race of the season. But Barcelona showed us the exact opposite. As we have talked before, a team capable of turning a bad season into a good one is Mercedes, and the team brought proper upgrades right on time, which were so good that George Russell was surprised about his P3 finish. Lewis Hamilton yet again showed why he is a 7-time world champion, and why the team has to listen to him. Now that Mercedes has taken a different direction, the first step in the right direction, what's next for the Silver Arrows? Obviously, beating Red Bull and Max Verstappen will be their next target. While that will be a tough nut to crack for any team this season, but the fact that Mercedes' pace was far ahead compared with what Ferrari and Aston Martin had to offer over a race stint. Even with Hamilton losing to Stroll and Sainz on the race start, he was able to gain those places with ease, goes to show that Mercedes were the big gainers over the span of one race. To top that off, Russell, who started P12, passed the Red Bull of Sergio Perez, who started P11, and finished on the podium, comfortably in front of Perez's Red Bull, and seemed to be a bit more faster than the Mexican at the latter stages of the Grand Prix. After a troublesome and miscommunicated qualifying session which dropped Russell down to P12, that comeback drive up to the podium was what Mercedes needed definitely. And doing that on the track which is known as the ultimate test could bring in more confidence to the team. It's the road of improvement for Mercedes from here onwards, and the team will be looking forwards desperately towards Red Bull's penalty to utilize the extra wind tunnel time, bringing more performance to the W14 and try and build up on that momentum. Mercedes showed one thing in Barcelona, which every team, including Red Bull, should take note of. It's to have two consistent drivers on the podium for the same team, rather than having one driver on the highest step of the podium, while the other is fighting to be the best of the rest. If you look at statistics, both Lewis and George have been very consistent this season, going almost neck and neck. That could be the difference between achieving P2 and P1 in the constructors' standings, which Mercedes proved in the 2021 season. For the Brackley-based squad, the Barcelona performance will definitely shut down the rumors of Hamilton moving away from Mercedes. Both Lewis Hamilton and Toto Wolff implied that a new contract will be signed, with just a 30-minute talk over coffee back at Brackley. Another question is, how good are Mercedes with this upgraded car, and will Hamilton be able to achieve that 8th world title? Well, a setup change overnight has propelled the W14 to be the second fastest car on the grid. That shows that the team has more to understand about this new car. So the next races at Canada and Silverstone will be very crucial for the Silver Arrows. Winning 33 points in a weekend where making it to the top 10 during qualifying was difficult according to Hamilton is such a good result. Mercedes is receiving a lot of help from Ferrari, as the Maranello team is nowhere to be found in terms of pace. The fact that the team is accepting that they are in an absolute free fall, and they have no idea of what's wrong and how to fix its car to unlock performance, speaks volumes. The W14 worked well on the soft-medium-soft tire strategy, which showed the tire preservation of the W14. Also, the silver arrows gave a lesson to their rivals Ferrari and Aston Martin. In fact, Russell urged to his team to think about a one-stop strategy to try and pressurize Verstappen to fight for the race win. That shows how much of an improvement the team has had since taking a different direction in terms of aerodynamic concept. The W14 has advanced to the point where they are competing with Red Bulls. Yes, there are a lot of things that should be improved, including the straight-line speed and the mild porpoising that Russell frequently encountered. However, as the season progresses, we might witness Red Bull's performance decline, even though it currently appears like a quite unlikely situation. Russell was incredibly taken aback by the W14's performance and pacing. The young British driver continued when asked how he felt about the outcome, which saw him finish on the podium after starting P12. After qualifying, we knew it was going to be a challenge, but woke up with a bit more positivity, and I thought we could definitely move forward, probably fight for P5, P6. I thought P3 would be a little bit out of reach, but the car was really great today. The team did a great job with the strategy, and it was a really satisfying race, making some good moves on the people around me. I think generally Aston and Ferrari were a little bit more off the pace than normal, after a disastrous qualifying session. Notably for Russell, who wasn't even able to advance to Q3, the Mercedes' performance throughout the race was unquestionably improved, as all drivers were starting their last laps in Q3 when the silver arrows were quite near to the two-time world champion. Therefore, a little setup adjustment has only served to highlight Mercedes' continued pursuit of the W14's optimal performance. And who knows whether Hamilton would have won the race easily if he had changed something that likely catapulted him to the front row. The Brit has realized that the progress they have made is unquestionably significant because tires obviously wear out on courses like Barcelona, especially with the final corner, which causes the front left tires to wear out significantly. It goes without saying that Hamilton is now eager for what happens next. Although Montreal is not comparable to Barcelona, it is undoubtedly a race where Mercedes may snag a strong result with a respectable haul of points. Hamilton added once more when discussing Barcelona's result and the direction the team is now heading. I just really wanted to take my hat off to my team, a big thank you to everyone back to the factory for continuing to push and bring us a little bit closer to the Bulls. They're still a bit ahead of us, but we'll keep chasing them down. But this is an amazing result. Mercedes team principal Toto Wolff recently highlighted the performance gap the German team had to Red Bull in the 2023 F1 Spanish GP. The Austrian claims the silver arrows were only 2 to 3 tenths behind the Austrian team in Barcelona, expressing hope for the future. The gap with Red Bull I think was 2 or 3 tenths. That's my opinion, and that's how we judge the weekend. It's a big step forward, but we have to stay calm because we also did well in Barcelona last year. We know more difficult times are coming, but I'm happy with the work the team has done in Brixworth and Brackley. The hope is that this gap can be closed later in the season when the aerodynamic performance of the W14 will improve, since it will spend more time in the wind tunnels compared to Red Bull. Despite the fact that Hamilton concluded his statement by saying that the RB19 is currently a little too fast of a car for their liking, this gap can be closed. However, the 7-time world champion remarked that the performance disparity might be closed by year's end, triggering a title match for the ensuing season in 2024. Red Bull, however, has shown us that they are concerned if either Mercedes or Ferrari are developing a B-Spec car for 2023. This is something that Christian Horner has said. And now that the W14's B-Spec car seems to work wonders on the grid, one can help but wonder, will we see one of the two Britons standing on the highest plate of the podium? How far up the grid, in terms of pace, can Mercedes move upwards? Share your thoughts with us in the comments section down below. We'd love to discuss it with you. And on your way down, don't forget to subscribe to the channel to get notified of our future uploads, to keep yourselves up to date about the 2023 Formula 1 season.